आपको जॉब जो मिलती है ना, फर्स्ट ऑफ ऑल गाइस, यू स्टार्ट विद अ मिड मैनेजमेंट लेवल. When you do MBA, you don't start with the lower level. You already start with the mid management level. And MBA में ना मोस्टली मिड टू टॉप में ना रेफरेंस से आपको जॉब मिलती है. तो व्हेन यू डू MBA, यू डेवलप अ स्ट्रॉन्ग नेटवर्क ऑफ एलुमनाइज जो लोग पास आउट्स है. तो इससे आपको काफ़ी बेनिफिट मिलता है कंपनीज में भी. तो फ्यूचर भी सिक्योर हो जाता है. नॉट ओनली दैट, somebody who is working somewhere, and if somebody is working in some other field and wants to change the field, उसके लिए भी you come and do MBA. So MBA opens a lot of avenues for you. Okay.
In short, if you're calling your career a game of snakes and ladders, तो MBA वो सीढ़ी है जो आपको it'll take you from stage 5 to stage 20 directly. Well, you don't have to go through all these stages. So for someone who's not done an MBA, उनको शायद लग जाएगा 10-12 years in an industry to become, to take up a leadership role.
Correct. Wherein you can expect a package between 30 to 50 lakhs per annum. Okay.
And MBA in itself is a stream neutral course.
Hi, I am Tanvi, currently pursuing my masters. After completing bachelor's, I decided to go for masters. But now, as I think about my future, तो मुझे ऐसा लगता है कि मुझे MBA करना चाहिए ताकि मैं नई अपॉर्चुनिटीज को एक्सप्लोर कर सकूं. So today I got an opportunity to interact with experienced mentors like Ashish sir and Amit sir, जिन्होंने बहुत सारे स्टूडेंट्स की हेल्प की उनके MBA ड्रीम कॉलेज तक पहुंचाने में. So अमित सर, वैसे मेरे को पता है MBA क्या है, बट इसकी रियलिटी क्या है, लाइक क्यों करना चाहिए, कैसे करना चाहिए?
So see, Tanvi, MBA stands for Masters of Business Administration. तो सबसे बड़ा मिसकंसेप्शन ये है कि MBA उन्हीं को करना चाहिए जिनको बिजनेस में घुसना है, because the term business is present in the name of the degree. But that's not the reality, right? The career opportunities that you get after MBA is way beyond just starting a business. And technically, sir, to start a business, I don't think किसी को MBA की जरूरत है. जो हमारे गली के कॉर्नर में जिसने चाय की टपरी खोली है उसने MBA करा होगा, but he's still a businessman, right? So it is not necessary that you have to do an MBA to become a businessman, but yes, that becomes the first step towards it, right? So MBA is a holistic learning. हमें लगता है कि in MBA you will be learning how to start a business or how to start working as a working professional, but that's not the truth, right? It gives a holistic training to a person that he is ready for the market, right? Market ready होना आज के ज़माने में बहुत ज़्यादा ज़रूरी है, because with years the trends also keep changing. If a person is still in the 90s, then for that person to pursue his career or to sustain in this particular world will become very difficult. So with the years, you get trained into how to become a professional, or if you're planning on beginning a business also in that case. So about what other opportunities, sir, if you can help us.
In addition to what sir said, देखो MBA, I'll speak keeping the younger generation in mind. जो लोग अभी भी ग्रेजुएट हुए और MBA दे रहे हैं, MBA करना चाह रहे हैं, तो चलो वो बहुत बड़ी बड़ी बातें नहीं सोचेंगे. तो उनके लिए सबसे पहले तो फाइनेंशियल स्टेबिलिटी, सिक्योरिटी. MBA कम्स विद अ गुड फाइनेंशियल, तो आपको फाइनेंशियल सिक्योरिटी वन ऑफ द बेस्ट इन द बिजनेस. ओके. Not only that, when you enroll yourself to a top B school, MBA में ना you get a very important thing is networking. Okay. Because in top management in any of the companies, any of the multi-dollar companies, MNCs, आपको जॉब जो मिलती है ना, फर्स्ट ऑफ ऑल गाइस, you start with a mid management level. When you do MBA, you don't start with the lower level. You already start with the mid management level. And MBA में ना मोस्टली मिड टू टॉप में ना रेफरेंस से आपको जॉब मिलती है. तो व्हेन यू डू MBA, यू डेवलप अ स्ट्रॉन्ग नेटवर्क ऑफ एलुमनाइज जो लोग पास आउट्स है. तो इससे आपको काफ़ी बेनिफिट मिलता है कंपनीज में भी. तो फ्यूचर भी सिक्योर हो जाता है. नॉट ओनली दैट, somebody who is working somewhere and maybe he wants to upscale his position in the company.
Right.
So in most of the companies they require this degree. उसके लिए भी you should do MBA. And if somebody is working in some other field and wants to change the field, उसके लिए भी you come and do MBA. So MBA opens a lot of avenues for you. Okay.
In short, if you're calling your career a game of snakes and ladders, तो MBA वो CD है जो आपको it will take you from stage 5 to stage 20 directly. Well, you don't have to go through all these stages. So for someone who's not done an MBA, उनको शायद लग जाएगा 10-12 years in an industry to become, to take up a leadership role.
Correct.
But then for someone who's done an MBA, that 10-12 years का gap gets covered directly. So it acts like a boost for their career.
Now, what happens actually? I'm adding to Sir's opinion. What happens actually? MBA, like business, small businesses run on like you buy a product and you sell product. But on large scale, you're running a company which is spread across hundreds of countries. वहाँ पे बाइंग एंड सेलिंग इज नॉट द ओनली थिंग यू नीड टू टेक केयर ऑफ. आपको डेली ऑपरेशंस देखना पड़ता है, आपको बजटिंग देखना पड़ता है, आपको मैन पावर, हायरिंग, मार्केट रिसर्च, सेल्स, डिस्ट्रीब्यूशन, रिटेल, लॉजिस्टिक्स, legal part
Endless,
of it,
endless.
legal part of it, all of these. Even if you are very good in buying and selling, but you are not aware of these aspects, you will incur huge losses. And MBA, the 2-year degree course, आपको train करते हैं इन सारी चीज़ों में. Okay, hence you are like 10-12 years ahead of others who have not done MBA. Most of the crowd say. So that's the benefit of doing an MBA course. Is what I feel.
ठीक है सर, जैसा आपने बोला कि इसके बाद बहुत सारी करियर अपॉर्चुनिटीज मिल जाती हैं बहुत, बट क्या क्या अपॉर्चुनिटीज होती हैं जैसे?
So in terms of your basic, you get into consulting, right? And consulting बोलने में इतना छोटा नाम है, but then it's an ocean, right? You become a consultant in any of the top consulting firms. That itself makes your most of your career sorted that way.
Right.
Along with consulting, then you get opportunities to work in different industries. You get into FMGCs, you get into banks, you get into service based organizations, product based organizations. The number of organizations or the field of organizations endless होती है. तो यहाँ पे you don't get into an entry level job, you don't start working at the basic, but you are already managing a team. So when you get into an organization, you start managing a team. You become a leader right away. So that's what an MBA does. Even if you are getting into a consulting firm, maybe for a couple years you would be at the at the beginning stage, but then you will quickly have that jump right away.
And to name a few positions that you can get straight away after you have your MBA degree is like investment banker. You can work as an investment banker. You work as manager in various departments like project manager, product manager. You get a financial manager, sales manager, and these are those profiles within the company. As I already mentioned, these are mid-management level positions wherein you are handling a team of 30, 40, 50 people.
Already.
So you already are making a change from day one of your job. So these are some of the jobs that you can get immediately after you pass your MBA. That's the thing.
And then a few years later, you're already at the CXO level.
Right.
You're already at the top management. So that is what an MBA does. It creates a segue for you to start from the bottom and go all the way to the top.
MBA works as a catalyst, right? It paces your career in a positive direction.
Yep.
So sir, एवरेज पैकेज क्या होता है लाइक एक MBA पर्सन का बाकी से?
Talking about the salary packages, the colleges are generally categorized into 3 tiers: Tier 1, Tier 2, and Tier 3. Generally, top 15-20 B schools of the country are considered as Tier 1 colleges, wherein you can expect a package between 30 to 50 lakhs per annum. Okay. In any Tier 2 college, standard Tier 2 college, you can expect a package around 15 lakhs plus minus, give and take 2-3 lakhs. Even a Tier 3 college, a good Tier 3 college, you can expect a package of somewhere around 7 to 8 lakhs, which is much more than the like other streams available in the market as compared to management. These are, I believe, fairly good packages, sir.
Yeah. The package also depends upon the industry you're going in, the kind of role that you're doing, what's your academic background, how is that going to help you in, how are you going to help the company grow, right? The package is not just a number that is fixed. Okay, if you are an MBA, this is your package, right? It also depends upon you as a person, what you have to offer, what changes you can bring in the organization, how have you been in the B school. ऐसा नहीं है कि 2 साल आपने पढ़ लिया और खत्म. what has
Right.
been your you can't remain just a bookworm and expect returns to come, right? तो आपके B school में भी आपकी क्या activities रही हैं? How was your involvement with the other activities going around? I'm not just talking about the events and the parties, but along with that, what other placement drives if you've been part of, if you've been internships, your e-cells, इनमें जब आप ज़्यादा contribute करते हैं, and when people know you, it's all about the network also. So, for example, agar if let's say I and Ashish sir both studied in the same MBA college, right? And Ashish sir turned out to be, a CEO of a very big organization, and I want to get into that organization. So, if now Ashish sir knows that I've been in the same college, I've been a batchmate, that will help me bump up my profile there, right? And the moment someone gives a reference, especially in the corporate, जब कोई भी आपको reference देता है and someone vouches for you, then that works. Right, that works to a very huge level. Instead of sitting and interviewing a bunch of candidates, if you go through reference, then that automatically puts a star next to your name. So that is what is the magic of MBA. It's not just it's the packages can never be fixed. We've heard people getting packages in 7 digits, right?
Right.
But then, yeah, the average package depends upon the B school, depends upon the kind of colleges that come for placement, and also the candidate.
And so I was recently talking to one of my colleagues who is working in a very good company in US. Like he's based out of India, shifted to US. He has clearly mentioned that in top management, the company is very big. I cannot name the company. In fact, the company is very big. All of us use the product of the company. He has clearly mentioned that in top management, hiring is done only based on reference. So that's the fact, and that you will build that kind of alumni network, that kind of network only with like a very strong batch. If you have to that strong batch, you can get in a good B school.
You get to meet a lot of like-minded people who will not only for jobs, but let's say if you're planning on setting something on your own, starting something on your own, you need a very good team.
Right.
आपके पास idea है बहुत बढ़िया, but what are you going to do with that idea? You need someone who can execute that idea. Yeah, you are a one-man army, but you can't take care of everything, right? There are going to be, from a larger scale to a smaller scale, इतनी सारी issues होंगी, इतनी सारी responsibilities होंगी that you as a person will not be able to take care of everything. So then you will need people who work along with you, people who work under you, who are going to help you make that dream come true. So not just the jobs, your network is also going to help open an avenue where you can start something of your own. So that is why an MBA, and that is why you require an MBA from a good name, so that you get like-minded people there. And with the training that the B school is giving, and with the networking that you're doing, you get the complete package there.
Correct.
बस ये है कि अच्छे दोस्त बनाओ कॉलेज में जाके, ऐसा कुछ.
Exactly. On a professional level, also on a personal level, also, the more people you know, the more teachers you know, the more juniors, seniors you know, they are going to someday or the other, they'll definitely come in handy.
So if not IIMs, so what are the top colleges? So आपने बताया कि बहुत अच्छा कॉलेज हो तो उसके हिसाब से पैकेज डिसाइड होता है, तो फिर कैसे पता चलेगा?
So yeah, we've all heard about IIMs. The moment we hear the word MBA, the first term that comes in everybody's mouth is Indian Institute of Management. How many colleges are there? Is that one college? No, there are 21 colleges under the banner of IIM. But are all 21 colleges at the same level? Obviously not. Right? There are, top 3 colleges which we call them ABC, which is your IIM Ahmedabad, IIM Bangalore, and IIM Calcutta. Along with that, there's another group that's called Blackie. That is your IIM Bangalore, that is B, IIM Lucknow, which is L, IIM Ahmedabad, which is A, IIM Calcutta, which is C, and IIM Kozhikode, which is K. And IIM Indore, which is I. Right? So these are the top B schools, and this is what you should be, focusing at. But then that does not mean कि बाकी colleges नहीं हैं, क्या बाकी colleges exist नहीं करते हैं या उनमें नहीं जाना चाहिए क्या? No, you're still under the umbrella of IIM, which is going to definitely help you when you put it in your profile itself. That's going to boost your profile. But सिर्फ IIMs ही नहीं होते, there are so many other colleges also that work at the same level and are as familiar as IIMs are. Sir.
So I'll try to answer this question with an example. I came across a student back in 2018 when I was teaching offline. The student scored 99.97 percentile in CAT. Okay, so and he was one of the our toppers of that particular year, 2017-18 की बात है. I do remember. If you are watching this, your name starts with S. ठीक है? तो We were very sure कि he will be going to some IIM Ahmedabad या ABC में जाने का है, but shockingly he chose XRI Jamshedpur. So there are many other colleges other than IIMs also, which are doing really good, which are at par with IIMs. ठीक है, to name a few, recently the colleges which are doing good is IIT Delhi is really doing good, XRI Jamshedpur is doing good, MDI is doing good, SIBM Pune is doing good, like IAFT is doing good, FM is always there. There's some really good colleges other than IIMs, which students should consider while preparing for his MBAs.
Your ISBs, your SIBMs, your Xavier's group, all of these colleges, we think as an outsider, people think that they don't have the fame that IIMs have, but that's completely wrong. In the business, if you entered the industry, you would understand that a person who's done an IIM from IIM Ahmedabad, who's done an MBA from IIM Ahmedabad, or if he's done an MBA from say your ISB, would still stand at the same level for the recruiter or for the other people who've been in the industry. So बाहर से ऐसा लगता है because we usually associate people with tags. तो हमें लगता है जिनके पास IIM का tag है बस वो बड़ा है. That's not the case.
बट सर MBA करना बहुत ज़्यादा एक्सपेंसिव है.
I would not deny that fact. It is expensive. It's not one of the cheaper courses. But with an MBA, what you ensure is कि जो आप, so for example, if your tuition fee itself costs around 30 to 40 lakh rupees, right, for your 2 years. That when you split up for a year, that's about 15 lakh rupees, and then you start wondering कि क्या मेरे को इतना पैसा मिल पाएगा आगे जाके. So what you're doing is not spending. You need to understand कि जो आप 30-40 lakh रुपए या whatever X amount that you're spending, you're not spending it on assets or you're not spending it on liabilities. You're investing it. That X at that point in time would seem like a big number, but 2 years down the line, 3 years down the line, when you start receiving that X amount, and then when that X becomes your 1X, 2X, 3X, 4X, 10X, that is when you realize that what you've done is investment. This is like you buying a seed, sowing. The process seems extremely lengthy. पूरा पौधा बन रहा है, देख रहे grow नहीं हो रहा है. But the moment it starts growing, the moment it starts giving its fruit and its benefits, that's when you don't think about that X कि यार एक ज़माने में मैंने X लगाया था. There are facilities, there are scholarships that a lot of B schools give that help people who are underprivileged, who help people that are academically strong. Merit based scholarships भी बहुत सारे colleges देते हैं. Along with that, there are also educational loans, right, that will help you for that time being cover your expenses for your MBA, and then you start paying them slowly, right? Along with that, there are not all colleges charge you 30-40 lakhs,
Right.
sir.
Speaking of educational loans first, like in almost all the top B schools, only if you have their acceptance offer that you have been enrolled to the college, bank gives you loan very easily. They only look for if the college has accepted your offer or not. That's it. And you can repay that hardly, like most of our students repay that in like very few years, like hardly 3, 4, 5 years. It's manageable because the potential growth in this MBA is huge. Speaking of ROIs, there are some very good colleges, top B schools, who offer great ROIs to start with. Like FMS has a great ROI. I know a few colleges in Delhi, like DSE is there, DMS is there. Their ROI is awesome. TIS is like having great ROI. Jamnanal Bajaj is having great ROIs. There are other colleges as well in Tier 2 category as well who offer some great ROI. Okay, you can check those colleges as well. It's not very difficult to crack, but you need to proper focus to crack those colleges. But there are colleges with good ROIs as well in terms of fees and immediate placement. In longer run, all the colleges, all the top B schools offer great ROIs.
So there are colleges that also charge you less than 10 lakh, right? Your entire course fee, your accommodation, everything comes under the 10 lakh bracket. But then the returns are so huge.
Huge.
Right? But at the same time, along with that, there's competition also. If everybody knows that at a smaller investment,
Right.
there's going to be, benefits of, you spend under 10 lakhs and then you end up getting, the same package or on the similar lines, the competition is definitely high. But then it's not like it's impossible. If they can get in, then you can also definitely try getting in.
FMS is charging fees of close to 2.3 lakhs for 2 years, but they offer a package of close to 30 lakhs. TIS is having a like tuition fees of 2 years close
Yeah.
to 2,10,000. They offer a package of anywhere around 18 to 20 lakhs. Like but again, as sir mentioned, that all of us know about these colleges. The competition is very high, very stiff, but it can be cracked again with proper like preparation, and if you follow the right direction, it is manageable.
अगर किसी को बहुत बेसिक से स्टार्ट करना तो वो कैसे एमबीए स्टार्ट करें, कैसे करना है एमबीए?
So हर चीज का एक there's got to be a first step. So when it comes to MBA, the first step is going to be an exam called CAT, right? That is for you to get into IIMs. Along with CAT, there are other exams for other colleges that they conduct on their own. We call them OMETs, right? We'll talk about that when the time comes. Exactly, we'll talk about that when the time comes. But the first step is going to be cracking that test, right? And so about when you come across people, when you see that on a yearly basis there are 3.5 lakh people who apply for these exams, people get scared. They think that कि ये exam clear करने से हो जाता है, or either they are so chill about that कि बस ये exam clear कर दो फिर हो गया, or they are super scared कि ये exam ही मेरे से नहीं हो पाएगा. What you need to understand is यहाँ पे pass fail वाला situation नहीं है. Be it CAT or for any other test, is no pass fail वाला situation. For any score that you get, there is a college waiting for you. Right? It's not that आपको ये clear करोगे तभी आपको कोई college call करेगा, नहीं. For any score at any, so there's no score also here, right? There's this concept of percentile, which is your rank based. Yeah. So हर percentile पे आपके लिए college है. So it's not like you write CAT and then you've already wasted your life or you wasted that one particular year in preparation. ऐसा नहीं होता. So that has to be the first step. And बहुत लोग इसी first step के पीछे थोड़ा डर जाते हैं.
Right.
So what I want to tell those guys जो मतलब अभी भी सोच रहे क्या CAT मेरे लिए बना है नहीं बना है, CAT सबके लिए बना है. CAT is, and other tests also. CAT, when I say CAT, guys, it automatically means CAT and OMETs also. A test like CAT is made for everyone. It's not like as if पर्टिकुलर स्ट्रीम के स्टूडेंट्स ही कर सकते हैं, उनसे ही हो पाएगा. दैट्स नॉट द केस. एंड MBA इन इटसेल्फ इज अ स्ट्रीम न्यूट्रल कोर्स. You can come from any background and still do an MBA. So you who've done your MA, who's pursuing your MA in English can also end up doing an MBA. So that opens up so many other avenues. With whatever UG you've done, you do your PG as an MBA, that opens up so many other avenues for you to explore.
So आपने OMATs का बोला, like what are OMATs? होता क्या है?
Mathematics.
OMETs, sir. OMETs are other management entrance tests. So CAT is basically the mother of all these exams, right? So CAT is conducted by the IIMs. And CAT, not only for the IIMs, but also for so many other colleges that are associated with the test CAT, the test gets applicable for all of these colleges. So you write CAT and then you're open for say more than 150 colleges that accept CAT ka score. But OMETs are these exams that individual colleges conduct them. For example, your Xavier's group conducts a test called XAT, XAT, which opens up your by writing that test you'd be able to get into any of the Xavier institutes. Just like that, there are so many other exams. Ashish sir, if you can help.
Each of these OMETs, there are like 6-7 major OMETs, management entrance tests. Each of these OMETs opens the door for at least one very good B school in the country. Like Xavier as sir said, if you attempt for XAT, it opens door for XLRI Jamshedpur as well as XLRI Delhi. These are two very good colleges which XAT offers. Both of them have package close to 25 lakh per annum. I have seen, and that has dropped by 3-4 lakhs for last year only, but that is bound to bounce back. Okay, and then there is a SNAP. Okay, for Symbiosis Group of Institutes offers SIBM Pune. Like the college is rated 12, I believe, in NIRF rankings. 12. It stands in 2024 NIRF rankings. And then you have like CMAT. You have TestNet. You have MHCT. Jamna Bajaj you get from CMAT. NMIMS you get from so there are some major examinations, and all of these examinations they offer at least one college which is in like at least top 15 B schools of the country, so they cannot be ignored. Yes.
A person with weaker background जिसने मैथ्स नहीं पढ़ी, जैसे मैं इंग्लिश बैकग्राउंड से हूँ तो मेरे को मैथ्स का कोई आइडिया नहीं, मेरी बहुत वीक है मैथ्स, तो मैं क्या कैट और ओमैथ्स के लिए जा सकती हूँ? मैं उसके लिए प्रिपेयर कर सकती हूँ?
देखो, to be honest, maths maths core is very dominant in CAT papers, right? There is a whole section of maths in CAT, and there is a section called DILR, wherein you need good understanding of numbers, good understanding of mathematics. So you cannot ignore the fact that you need to work. If you have worked hard on mathematics, very good. But if you are weak in mathematics, you have to work hard. But again, with proper direction and structure, the syllabus is vast, but it is not difficult. It is manageable, even if you have not done, even if you are starting from scratch. The syllabus of maths is vast. You need to start early, but it is manageable, truly manageable. Like with the proper preparation of 6 to 7 months, you will be at par with other students. So that is with mathematics, and there is very important role of mathematics in DILR as well. Mostly DI, I believe. DI is game of numbers. So throw some light on it, on DI.
See, to take into your question in perspective, आपको लगता है कि you have to be a master at maths. You have to be able to do mental calculation. You have to be able to, crack integrals and differentiation.
No, that is not the
and
case.
go all the way to, quantum math, quantum physics level tak ka math.
All
You
the
don't
maths
have
that
to
you
do
need
that.
to know is the basic addition, subtraction, and then you can build on it.
Right. So you start from the scratch. You start from the basics. The kind of questions that are asked are application based. Questions ऐसे नहीं होंगे that you have to sit and derive something. These are going to be real life problems that are thrown at you that will have some of the other application जिन्हें आप अपने life में उतार के and then you are learning. Right, so this math is not something that you have to sit and do a master's in mathematics and then get into that, right? The level of questions are very understandable, comprehensible questions होते हैं. ऐसे नहीं होता है कि आप math का कोई question देख रहे हो और आपको सब कुछ जो है pig Latin में दिख रहा है. Right, it's going to be something that is very understandable, things that you use on a daily basis. Talk about someone who's selling vegetables. A vegetable vendor भी उस level का math करता है. He knows how to check weights. He knows how to calculate his profit and his loss. He know how to raise a particular price and then drop it down when a known
Correct.
customer comes, so that uska at the end of the day uska effective loss zero ho jaye, right? At least zero ho jaye, right? So those levels of, so the kind of questions, there are some concepts जैसे geometry हो गया या algebra हो गया जहाँ पे आपको थोड़ा deep जाना पड़ता है.
Theoretical, bookish knowledge.
Exactly. But then again, when I say thoda deep, I'm just talking about ankle length water, right? Math is going to be where you can go, at least 20, 30 feet down and still not see the floor, right? Itna deep hai math. But then the kind of math that, CAT test is just ankle length. तो and another thing that comes कि आपने बोला कि मैं English background से हूँ तो क्या मेरे लिए हो पाएगा? Everybody has their strong points and weak points, right? So if you're from English background, then you have a section made specially for you, which is VARC, that is verbal ability and reading comprehension. That will be a piece of cake for you to crack, right? And then when we talk about quant or DILR, which are math dominant, वहाँ पे आपको थोड़ा problem होगा. But then you need to understand that skills are made to be learned. Right? Nobody born skillful. Talented, yes, but then skills and talents completely different, right? कोई skill के साथ पैदा नहीं होता है, talent के साथ पैदा होता है. They have an advantage there, but then you can always jump up, right? If you get the right kind of preparation, you focus in the right direction, तो आपके लिए CAT या कोई भी OMET क्रैक करना should not be a difficult thing at all. ये जो common misconception है, जो एक fear बना हुआ है लोगों में, क्योंकि वो उठाते ही देखते हैं questions, English में होते हैं questions, but होते हैं maths के, right? And then when they see these kind of questions, they panic because it brings back, PTSD. जो उनको पोस्ट ट्रोमेटिक स्ट्रेस डिसऑर्डर हुआ था बैक देन इन द स्कूल, जब उनसे a+b² का फॉर्मूला रट्टा मराया गया था हाथ पे. आई डोंट थिंक दीज डेज स्कूल्स में मारते हैं, बट बैक देन मारते हैं. हाँ तो ये मार के जो याद कराया जाता है, योर ब्रेन वर्क्स इन दैट पर्टिकुलर वे एंड इट डायरेक्टली रिकनेक्ट्स यू टू द पास्ट वेयर यू स्ट्रगल्ड समवेयर. दैट्स नॉट दिख रहा है. वो वाइफ सिखाया होगा सर. हाँ, so you don't have to go all the way to mugging up formulas or remembering derivations, because the kind of test, all of these tests are objective tests. They give you a question, there'll be answers, or there's going to be a single number answer जो आपको answer करना होता है. And these kind of questions are also something that you can easily relate, especially arithmetic is something that you can easily relate. DILR के सारे questions are, questions made in such a way that you can easily relate to them. They're based on scheduling, they're based on, arrangements, they're based on reading graphs, which is an important aspect. बहुत बच्चे ये पूछते हैं कि सर ये सब पढ़ के करेंगे क्या? MBA में तो ये काम नहीं आता है. That is what I want to bring to their notice, कि math is going to be an integral part of your life till the end of it, right? Even in MBA, you are going to work around graphs. You are going to work around numbers. You are going to work around formulas. भले आप वो Excel में लगा रहे हैं या यहाँ पे बैठ के अपने notebook में लिख रहे हैं, still working around those things. And the more comfortable, math is not about, learning and becoming a master of, but you get comfortable with it. जैसे जैसे अपना comfort level बनता है, math को आप यहाँ देखे बिना, you start looking at this stage, math becomes easy for you to understand. हमारे स्कूल में क्या होता था कि सर क्वेश्चन दे दिया आपको, बताओ प्रूव दैट LHS इक्वल टू RHS. तो ये LHS RHS करने के चक्कर में हमारा लेफ्ट राइट क्या होता है हम भूल जाते हैं, right? So that's not the kind of questions that are asked. That's not what is expected of you also. The kind of questions are application based, be it quant or DILR. So the moment you become comfortable around math, all of that becomes easy for you to crack, and so much so that you start having fun solving these kind of questions. तो आपको ये ध्यान में रखना है कि समझो, याद मत करो. There's nothing in math that you have to remember. You need to understand how that picture, how it came into that picture. तो आप ही कर सकते हो, don't worry about it.
So आशीष सर, what is the best time प्रिपेयर करने के लिए, और क्या मैं 2025 के लिए लेट हो चुकी हूँ, अभी भी प्रिपेयर कर सकती हूँ?
To answer your question, what is the right time to start preparing for CAT? So there is all the time is the right time to start preparing for CAT. But you need to figure out what stage you are in. Okay, it completely depends on that, and you can better figure this out with your academics, like the marks you have scored in your 10th and 12th, because CAT majorly focuses on the syllabus of 8th, 9th and 10th standard only. Instead, I'll put it in this way, कि start from today. Okay, it's not the case कि आप day one से you are going to study 12, 13, 14 hours. Start putting some hours based on your sitting capacity. Start putting it on daily basis. Figure out a syllabus. Start working on it. And the deeper you will go, you will figure out that I need to put more hours into it. Okay, so automatically in a month you will come to figure out how much hours I need to put more, and that you can adjust with the time left to the examination automatically. So I would say the right time to start preparing for CAT is now. Start preparing today if you are willing to prepare. Okay. Any views from your side, sir?
सी कैट जो है, कैट और ओमेट्स फॉर दैट मैटर, एक ऐसा टेस्ट नहीं है जहां पे आप क्वांटिफाई कर सके टाइम को. इट्स ऑल अबाउट द क्वालिटी. अब भले 1 साल पढ़ लो, 2 साल पढ़ लो, 3 साल पढ़ लो, बट द अमाउंट ऑफ टाइम दैट यू आर स्पेंडिंग, अगर वो क्वालिटी टाइम नहीं है तो फिर there's no exactly pointless है फिर वो. So the idea is कि आप even if you're spending 12 months or 6 months or 3 months or even 1 month for that matter, but अगर वो time अगर आप quality level पे दे सकते हैं, if you are able to give that 100% and beyond efforts to that the dedication, then you would be able to crack CAT, right? तो ऐसा कहीं पर भी there's nothing कहीं पे लिखा हुआ नहीं है कि आप इतने hours देंगे तभी आपका CAT crack होगा. It's just like learning any other skill, right? Let's say you're planning on learning swimming and you know nothing about swimming at all, right? And you're scared of water and it takes you a long time to get comfortable around water. तो फिर धीरे धीरे you go. You can't do that in a 10-day boot camp or in a 15-day crash course. You can't do that. Then for you it is going to take you months. But वही अगर if you are already comfortable around water and you don't you've already made sure that you've learned a few basics of it, बस आपको advanced सीखना है, then the time automatically reduces. So the amount of time is inversely proportional to the skills that you have. If you are already skillful, if you are already comfortable, तो वो time अपने आप गिरते जाता है. And like sir said, कोई ऐसा fixed amount of time नहीं होता है. The right time to begin is the moment you realize आपको चालू करना है. Right, the moment you figure out that there is a thing like CAT and you want to pursue an MBA, that should be your day one and you should not wait any further. किसी ज्योतिष से पूछने की जरूरत नहीं है कि आज राहु मेरा कहाँ बैठा, आज चालू कर सकते हैं क्या?
So what about after CATs and OMATs? इसके बाद सीधे सिलेक्शन हो जाता है या फिर कुछ और भी प्रोसेस होता है?
राइट, लाइक आई सेड कि फर्स्ट स्टेप हमेशा कैट होता है या आपके एंट्रेंस एग्जाम्स होते हैं ओमेट्स, बट इट डज नॉट एंड विद दैट. आपका अच्छा स्कोर आ गया, वेल एंड गुड, बट देन यू आर इन फॉर अ होल राउंड ऑफ surprises,
In
right?
fact, cracking CAT is only 50% of the selection.
Exactly, yeah, one half of it, right? आप एक
Half
half
of it.
cover कर लिए, the other half of it is going to be other criteria that play in. Now there are colleges that generally colleges conduct rounds called GD, which is your group discussion, and PI, personal interviews, right? Along with these two, and you have to make sure that you perform really well for that, right? And इतना ही है, पीआई हो गया तो भी हो गया, अगेन देयर आर अदर क्राइटेरियाज दैट प्ले इनटू, राइट? योर प्रोफाइल मैटर्स अ लॉट. इतना नहीं है कि आपने कैट को क्रैक कर लिया तो खत्म है, नॉट रियली, राइट? आफ्टर योर कैट द अदर क्राइटेरियाज लाइक योर academics, there are a lot of colleges that play with your 10th and your 12th score. There are a lot of colleges that play with the kind of academic background you have, right? So there's score given for academic diversity, there's score given for gender diversity, there's score given for different categories also, right? So along with that, not a score but a benefit is given in that sense, and along with that you also have to make sure that you don't get panicked around these things, right? These are all technicalities, these are all revolve around your past, and a few things you may not be able to change. But then, like sir said, the first half, if you've done really well in the CAT and the OMETs, then that makes you advantage, that puts you on the beneficial side.
And also, I would like to add कि if you score, like you said कि sir CAT निकाला तो selection हो ही जाता है क्या? Like sir said कि you attempt CAT, that is half of the journey, and then you get calls. There is one more thing in this. As suppose you have scored real nice percentile in CAT, let's say 99.5 plus percentile, and you are sitting at your home expecting your academics is also good. You are sitting at your home expecting I'll get a call from ABCs and I'll convert one of them. But there are times when no calls come from ABC. In fact, you will get a call from IM, which is on 7th or 8th place technically. So what happens here is they diversify the talent as well. They don't put all the IMs have this criteria. They don't put all those 99.9 percentilers in. So some other IMs also they call for those who have scored 99.5, 6, 7 percentiles. Okay. In that case again, you get ki no, I wanted ABCs only. I'll try for next year. So scoring good percentile in CAT doesn't guarantees you. Increases your possibility to get into a good like top B schools, but it does not guarantees the dream college you have dreamt for.
डरा रहे हो सर बच्चों को, डरा रहे हो बच्चों को. डर लग रहा है ना, मतलब 99.5 भी आ गया फिर भी नहीं हो पाया.
फिर भी नहीं हुआ लाइक ड्रीम कॉलेज में. सर कितना होता है 99%? बोले कितना होता है 99%?
देखा है मैंने.
So CAT is going to be your first layer of filter, right? अगर आप CAT ही नहीं कर पाएंगे तो आगे की सोच के कोई फायदा भी नहीं है. So your primary focus has to be on cracking a test like CAT or OMETs, so that for them when they start filtering out students, you remain intact there, right? फिर उसके बाद जब आपका प्रोफाइल प्ले करता है, आपका वर्क एक्सपीरियंस प्ले करता है, और academics, like I said, other diversities in terms of academics or gender or category, those play very minute role. The major part, the major chunk is still taken up by CAT only. CAT, GD, PI should be your utmost focus, because the other things you can't really change.
So sir, जैसे मैं कॉलेज जाती हूँ अभी और मेरे को कैट प्रिपेयर करना है, तो मैं क्या दोनों एक साथ मैनेज कर सकती हूँ अभी?
It is kind of a difficult thing, I'll tell you that, right? मैं झूठ नहीं बोलूँगा, आपको नहीं बोलूँगा कि हो जाएगा, चिल है. It is not, क्योंकि आप जो कॉलेज, आप जो यूजी कर रहे हो या पीजी कर रहे हो, वो भी आपका फुल टाइम टास्क होता है, एंड प्रिपेयरिंग फॉर कैट इज ऑल्सो अ फुल टाइम प्रोसेस. तो यू शुड बी एबल टू गिव टाइम टू बोथ. But the idea is कि आप अपने टाइम को मैनेज करेंगे, अपने टाइम को प्रायोरिटाइज करेंगे. एट दैट मोमेंट आपकी प्रायोरिटी क्या है, एंड अलॉन्ग विद दैट आप प्रॉपर प्लान के साथ चलेंगे, राइट? द प्लानर इज द मोस्ट इंपॉर्टेंट एस्पेक्ट व्हेन इट कम्स टू प्रिपेयरिंग नॉट ओनली फॉर कैट एंड ओमेट्स बट फॉर एनी एग्जाम इन दैट मैटर. तो आप अगर दो चीज एक साथ में कर रहे हो और आपका फोकस सिर्फ एक पे है तो दूसरा है, दिस इज लाइक जगलिंग, राइट? So you're juggling multiple balls at the same time. आपका focus अगर सिर्फ एक पे है तो बाकी कहाँ जाएंगे आपको पता नहीं चलेगा, and they'll fall off. You don't want that to happen. And juggling, juggling your entire day, right? Shuffling your entire day to make sure कि सारे schedules properly match हो जाए. कई बार colleges में आपके exams होते हैं, उस पे भी आपको focus करना होता है. It's not like कि आप अगर CAT दे रहे तो आपका college फिर redundant हो जाता है क्या? फिर क्यों करते हैं? Why do people pursue a UG or a PG in a different stream, right? So अगर आप CAT के लिए prepare कर रहे हैं, then you have to make sure कि आप proper schedule बनाएं and you stick to that schedule. Schedule बनाना सबके बस की बात है, follow करना सबकी नहीं है. So you have to make sure आप एक schedule बनाओ, आप उसको शिद्दत से properly follow करो. और ऐसा होता है कि कई बार आप कुछ प्लान करते हो and things don't work according to plan, and there are other external factors also. You fall sick, you have other priorities, you have other commitments. तो उस टाइम पे you need to be able to rearrange things so that आपका at least that weekly quota जो है वो complete हो जाए. But making sure that you don't lose focus on either of the things. So like I said, easy thing नहीं है. It is difficult but it is not impossible. And ये एक ऐसी चीज है जो around our country everybody does it. जब आप स्कूल में पढ़ रहे थे तब भी आप किसी और एग्जाम के लिए प्रिपेयर कर ही रहे थे. अब भी जब आप एग्जाम के लिए अभी जब आप कॉलेज पढ़ रहे तब भी आप किसी और एग्जाम के लिए प्रिपेयर करेंगे ही, राइट? सो दिस साइकिल विल कीप गोइंग ऑन. इट्स ऑल अबाउट आप कैसे उसमें सर्वाइव करते हैं. दैट्स द मोस्ट इंपॉर्टेंट थिंग.
If you'll ask me, I would say you should start preparing for CAT, for MBA exams if you are in a college. Okay. एक प्लानर बनाओ, ऐसा सेट प्लानर बनाओ, ट्राई टू स्टे कंसिस्टेंट टू इट. ओके, एक माइलस्टोन सेट करो. एक महीने बाद आई शुड बी एट दिस पॉइंट, बोथ एकेडमिकली एंड इन टर्म्स ऑफ एग्जामिनेशन प्रिपरेशन एज वेल. एंड बी ऑनेस्ट विथ योरसेल्फ. फिगर दैट आउट कि आपने वो अचीव किया है, नहीं किया है. इफ नॉट, if you are lacking in, like उसकी वजह से दोनों हैम्पर हो रहा है या वन ऑफ देम इज हैम्परिंग, आई वुड आस्क कि प्रायोरिटाइज योर यूजी क्लासेस. बिकॉज अल्टीमेटली एकेडमिक्स की हम बात करते हैं कैट एग्जाम में, लाइक MBA कॉलेजेस में एकेडमिक्स की बात करते हैं, तो एकेडमिक्स प्लेज अ वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट रोल. सो आइदर यू शुड ट्राई टू मैनेज बोथ. इफ नॉट, आई वुड से कि फोकस ऑन योर यूजीज बिकॉज मार्क्स विल प्ले अ वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट रोल इन योर एडमिशन प्रोसेस.
सो व्हाट अबाउट वर्किंग प्रोफेशनल्स? आपने बोला कि लाइक कॉलेज में स्टार्ट कर देनी चाहिए. जो लाइक अभी काम कर रहे हैं, क्या वो जॉब छोड़ दें, जॉब क्विट कर दें MBA के लिए अगर उनको करना है तो?
Same thing applies here also. It's the same kind of a question whether you, so CAT आपका एक full time job हो गया and you're doing another job at the same time. So it's like you're juggling two jobs, right? उसमें moonlighting का केस नहीं लगेगा आप पे. The only thing is that you have to make sure कि आप अपने काम पे भी फोकस रहें, अपने MBA के प्रेप में भी फोकस रहें, and you also have to make sure कि आप अपने social life में भी फोकस रहें. What a lot of people do, especially working professionals, क्या करते हैं? They cut off their leisure time. So you need to make a planner in such a way. No, time है आपके पास. You have the time. You just need to know how to use it, manage it properly. So if you can, then you can do multiple things at the same time. People manage multiple jobs also at the same time, right? So this is also going to be like that. You need the right kind of course that matches your schedule. You need the right kind of push from people who can help you get through that. It's all about your internal motivation. If you are motivated कि हाँ मेरे को ये तो करना ही है, because what a lot of people think is कि सर मैं फिर पेपर डाल दूँ क्या, मैं CAT देने का सोच रहा हूँ, मैं shall I put down my paper, should I start resigning? Definitely not. I would never recommend that. अगर आपके लाइफ में कुछ चल रहा है, make sure that keeps running, and at the same time when you start putting in efforts from the other side, it's going to be extra grind. That's it. And you know that any extra grind that you're doing will churn out some or the other money to you, right? Whether it is in with respect to cracking CAT or earning extra money, either which way. So grind हमेशा help करेगा, and then this is not going to be a long process ना. You're not going to juggle with a job and CAT का prep for a very long time. It's going to be a shorter duration where you might have to put in extra stress and strain. But then again, it is all about how you can manage your time, how you can prioritize things. Sometimes आ जाएंगे आपके मैनेजर, आ जाएंगे आपको बोलेंगे कि ये रिपोर्ट दे दो. You will have your financial responsibilities also to fulfill, and you will have your quotas also to fulfill. क्या बोलते हैं उसको, target क्या? You will have your targets also to achieve, right? So when you have those things happening, you can't lose focus on either of it. तो दोनों पे focus करना है, equally focus नहीं करना है, कभी यहाँ पे ज्यादा कभी यहाँ पे ज्यादा, but you need to know कब कहाँ पे ज्यादा focus करना है. That's all it is. And if you're genuinely asking me, right now don't do it, maybe closer to CAT, right?
Right.
Again, don't quit, never keep that option in your mind, because you'll always need something to fall on if things don't go in your desired direction, right? Agar things south chale gaye to you need to have something to fall on. This is especially for people who are completely independent and they are, you know, taking care of their own expenses. Unke liye specifically hai कि don't quit anything. You'll always have the option of taking a sabbatical or leave for a smaller duration. वो option आप choose करिए rather than taking that huge step of quitting. So yes, it is manageable, but make sure you can prioritize.
So sir, does gap year affects on candidates?
Gap year क्या होता है आपको पता है?
Hey,
मैं आंसर नहीं कर रहा हूँ, मैं जनरली पूछ रहा हूँ. Do you know? हाँ तो फिर कैसे पूछ रहे हैं?
अभी मैं अपनी जॉब कर रही हूँ और मास्टर्स भी कर रही हूँ. इसमें मास्टर्स नहीं कर रही होती, जॉब के साथ मैंने 3-4 साल बाद मैं सोच रही हूँ कि मैं
पता है gap year
तो वर्क एक्स है ना, वो गैप ईयर थोड़ी ना होता है उसका. तो शिफ्ट शी इज वर्किंग देन इट्स अ वर्क एक्स. गैप ईयर ये होता है कि जब आप
कुछ भी नहीं कर रही हो, ऐसा कुछ.
हाँ, सो लेट्स से आपने अपना ग्रेजुएशन खत्म किया एंड देन यू वांटेड टू प्रिपेयर फॉर दिस एग्जाम, दैट एग्जाम, दिस एग्जाम और समथिंग अदर देन दैट. कोई पर्सनल हेल्थ इश्यूज हो गए, पर्सनल रीजंस के कारण आपको एक साल यू हैव डन नथिंग, राइट? यू हैव आइडियली डन नथिंग, तो फिर वो होता है गैप ईयर.
तो सर मेरी एक फ्रेंड है जिसने मेरे साथ ग्रेजुएशन की थी, लेकिन कुछ सर्कमस्टांसेस की वजह से वो आगे कंटिन्यू नहीं कर पाई, तो वो अभी घर पर ही है. तो क्या ये ईयर गैप उसको इफेक्ट करेगा या कुछ ऐसा?
देखो, टू बी वेरी ऑनेस्ट, गैप एग्जाम तो आप अपीयर कर सकते हैं. गैप का जो क्वेश्चन है ना, दैट अराइजेस इन जीडीपीआई, ग्रुप डिस्कशन एंड पर्सनल इंटरव्यू. एंड यस, टू बी ऑनेस्ट, हाँ गैप का इफेक्ट पड़ता है. अगर 1-2 साल का गैप है, लाइक 1 और 2 साल का, तो दैट कैन बी जस्टिफाइड विद द मार्क्स दैट यू हैव स्कोर्ड. यू कैन वर्क रियली हार्ड ऑन योर एग्जामिनेशन, so that can be overlooked. But अगर गैप ज़्यादा है, 3-4 साल का है, तो you need to do some extra courses, some internships, some small courses. उसको आपको करके उसमें अच्छा परफॉर्म करके you can make a profile that can, और उसमें आप आपके
हाँ बराबर है, सही जा रहा है.
हाँ
सही जा रहा है.
इंटरव्यूअर को आप कन्विंस कर सकते हैं that I have done this and that. ठीक है. देखो, स्पीकिंग ऑफ गैप ईयर, अगर 1-2 साल का गैप है तो यू कैन जस्टिफाई इट इन द नेम ऑफ प्रिपरेशन दैट आई वाज प्रिपेयरिंग. बट हाँ, हैविंग सेड दैट, आपको आपके कैट में या फिर जो भी एग्जाम्स है, मैनेजमेंट एग्जाम्स में, यू नीड टू स्कोर सम रियल गुड परसेंटाइल. तो जनरली ये जो गैप का क्वेश्चन आता है, वो आता है ग्रुप डिस्कशन एंड पर्सनल इंटरव्यू में. एंड दोज आर ह्यूमन बीइंग्स ओनली, द पीपल सिटिंग देयर, ओके, दे हैव डन ऑल ऑफ दीज थिंग्स. तो आप उनको कन्विंस कर सकते हैं विद द मार्क्स. यू कैन जस्टिफाई योर गैप विद द मार्क्स. बट अगर गैप ज्यादा है, डियर 3-4 साल का गैप है अगर, तो आपको डेफिनेटली कुछ कोर्सेज, शॉर्ट कोर्सेज, कुछ अपस्किलिंग कोर्सेज, आपको उसको जस्टिफाई करना पड़ेगा. एंड इन एडिशन टू दैट आपको मार्क्स भी अच्छा स्कोर करना पड़ेगा. एंड देन यू हैव टू कन्विंस देम, एंड इन सम ऑफ द केसेस दे गेट कन्विंस्ड एज वेल. मोस्ट ऑफ द केसेस दे गेट कन्विंस्ड एज वेल. ओके, आई हैव सीन मेनी स्टूडेंट जिनको 3-4 साल, 5 साल का गैप है. अभी भी आप एग्जामिनेशन सेंटर पे जाओगे तो यू विल सी पीपल हैविंग एज अबव 35-40 राइटिंग द पेपर्स. ओके, तो दे एक्सेप्ट. बट हाँ, यू नीड टू जस्टिफाई देम. इस गैप में आपने किया क्या है? अगर आप उस गैप को जस्टिफाई कर दोगे तो दीज गाइज दे आर विलिंग टू ओवरलुक इट, प्रोवाइडेड यू गिव सम प्रॉपर जस्टिफिकेशन टू दैट. ओके, सो गैप, हाँ, अगर आपने कुछ भी नहीं किया तो दैट विल डेफिनेटली मैटर अ लॉट. Straight away they'll reject it. You have to justify the gap, and that can be done.
गैप ईयर जो है इज काइंड ऑफ अ खामी, राइट? और जब when you are presenting yourself, you are basically in a PI round, आप basically क्या कर रहे हो? You are selling your profile. आप बता रहे हो कि मेरा profile is worthy for this college. और वहां पे you can't start pointing out your खामियाज, right? You can't start pointing out where your weak, your low points were in the life. So what you do is you cover it with high points in your life. Maybe in that 1 year or 1.5 years आपने शायद कुछ नहीं करा होगा या आपने कहीं और प्रिपेयर कर रहा होगा, but you need to bring their focus back to what you've done later or what you've done earlier. तो उससे आपको उसको कवर अप करना है. It's basically a bald spot, right? यहाँ पे बाल नहीं है, कोई बात नहीं, यहाँ से बाल लेके यहाँ पे डाल रहे हो. That is basically very bad analogy, no?
So sir, MBA क्या सिर्फ इंडिया में ही होता है या फिर कहीं और अदर कंट्रीज में भी होता है?
MBA is a universally known degree, right? अलग-अलग नाम से होते हैं in different places, but then technically that's the picture of it. तो अगर आपको MBA इंडिया में करना है, then the primary exams are CAT and the OMETs that we spoke about. But अगर आपको MBA abroad करना है, if you're planning on doing your MBA in the US or any other countries for that matter, तो फिर another test comes into picture, which is your GMAT. राइट और GMAT ऐसा नहीं है कि सिर्फ इंटरनेशनली ही एक्सेप्टेड है, देयर आर अ फ्यू कॉलेजेस इन इंडिया दे आल्सो एक्सेप्ट GMAT. बट अगर आपका आइडिया ऐसा है कि दैट यू हैव टू डू एन MBA इन आवर कंट्री ओनली, इन इंडिया ओनली, देन CAT हैज टू बी वन ऑफ द बेस्ट एग्जाम्स दैट यू शुड डेफिनेटली ट्राई एंड गिव.
सो सर MBA के लिए कितना वर्क एक्सपीरियंस चाहिए होता है? चाहिए भी होता है कि नहीं चाहिए होता है?
सी अगेन जैसे मैंने बोला कि बहुत सारे कॉलेजेस डाइवर्सिटी पे फोकस करते हैं. सो वन ऑफ द फैक्टर्स दैट प्ले इन इज योर वर्क एक्सपीरियंस. इट इज नॉट लाइक कि वर्क एक्सपीरियंस चाहिए ही तभी आपका सिलेक्शन होगा, या अगर वर्क एक्सपीरियंस नहीं होगा तभी आपका सिलेक्शन होगा. देयर इज नथिंग लाइक दैट. अ कॉलेज विल मेक श्योर दैट दे हैव diverse students in terms of their experience also. तो जो अंडर एक्सपीरियंस्ड हैं जिन्हें हम फ्रेशर्स बुलाते हैं, दे विल ऑल्सो बी पार्ट ऑफ योर बैच. जो 2 से 3 साल के एक्सपीरियंस हैं वो लोग भी होंगे आपके बैच में, और जो 2-3 साल से थोड़े ज़्यादा भी हैं, 3-4 साल तक भी हैं, उनका भी होगा. सो द आइडिया इज कि यू नीड टू अंडरस्टैंड कि आपकी प्रायोरिटी क्या है. Don't go for what is best because it is best either which ways. Look at what your priority is. The only advantage you get अगर आप work experience के साथ जाते हो, तो the advantage you get is the kind of examples, the kind of case studies they give you. You will be able to relate it to more because आपने वो corporate experience किया है. You've seen it first hand and you know कि हाँ ऐसा होता है, ये होता है, ये troubles होते हैं, ये इनका solutions होता है. So it becomes easy for you to relate to that. Along with that, after your MBA, that experience also counts, right? So वो value addition हो जाता है आपका. But ऐसा नहीं है कि work experience जरूरी है. Freshers also do MBA, and most freshers end up doing MBA for the sole reason कि उनका start ही थोड़ा ऊपर level पे होना चाहिए. So they're not looking for jobs at that stage because that's not their priority, and that they're looking at the bigger picture. So, having a work experience is not something that matters a lot, right? Most B schools give you 5 or 10 points for the work experience part. The other 90 to 95 points are given for your CAT and your GD and your PI. So that is what you should be focusing more on. But अगर आपको लगता है for your career, if you feel like नहीं मेरे को work experience चाहिए, do work for a couple of years. 2 साल तक काम करो, 2 या 3 साल तक, not beyond that, because then you end up crossing that 4-year work ex line. In that case फिर आपको
नेगेटिव पॉइंट्स मिलते हैं.
नेगेटिव नहीं, कम मिलते हैं. नेगेटिव नहीं मिलते.
नेगेटिव एज एन
कम मिलते हैं.
जहाँ आपको 10 पॉइंट्स मिलता है वहाँ आपको 5 पॉइंट्स, इट्स काइंड ऑफ नेगेटिव.
हाँ, बट आइडियली ऐसा बोल देता हूँ. But ideally 2 to 3 years of experience is really good.
तो थैंक यू सो मच फॉर योर इनसाइट्स. सर पहले मैं बहुत ज़्यादा कंफ्यूज थी कि करना चाहिए नहीं करना चाहिए, कि अभी मेरी मास्टर्स चल रही है कि मैं कॉलेज ड्रॉप कर दूं और मैं स्टार्ट करूं इसके लिए, बट आप लोगों ने मेरी बहुत हेल्प की है, एंड थैंक यू सो मच. मेरे सारे डाउट्स एकदम क्लियर हो गए हैं.
Always a pleasure.